Welcome to today's ACO Direct webinar. We're super excited to get things kicked off. We will give everyone about another minute or so just to hop on and get settled, and then we'll kick off today's presentation. Awesome. Well, I think we can go ahead and get started. My name's Jordan Nelson. I'm an account manager here at ACO Direct. I'm really excited to introduce you to today's guests. First off, a couple of housekeeping items. You'll notice on the right-hand side of your screen, there is a chat. Feel free to drop in any questions throughout the presentation. The chat is public, so anything you put in there, everyone in the audience can see what you're putting in there. And also in that same area on your screen, you'll see a handout selection. There is a handout with today's presentation that you're more than welcome to download and use as a resource. Our presenters, Camille and Kat, will talk more about what that entails, but make sure to download that before the end of the presentation. We'll also be sending that, it's the PESO marketing guide over in a follow-up email after the presentation if you miss downloading it. As always, too, if you have any questions after today's presentation, never hesitate to reach out to your ACO Direct account manager. They can connect you to today's presenters or get you the information that you need. And yeah, so I think we're ready to get started. So today we have Camille and Kat on the ACO Direct marketing team. They're both media planners, and they're going to take us through the PESO model and how incorporating it can help with your dealership awareness and then also driving leads, of course. So we're really excited to have them, and I'll kick it over to them.
Thank you, Jordan. So I'll go first. My name is Camille Ripitou. I am a media planner for ACO Direct, as Jordan said, and I work here in the U.S. for dealers all over the country.
I am Kat Ditto. I work with ACO Direct Canada, so I'm working here in Canada. I'm based out of Calgary, Alberta, and working with all the dealers across Canada. All right, so today we are going to explore how mapping your marketing strategy using PESO. So PESO is paid, earned, shared, and owned media. This is what we're going to be covering today, is why marketing strategies fall short. We're going to have a look at common pitfalls, what are good strategies, and sometimes they fail to deliver. We'll also introduce you to the PESO framework, a simple, powerful way to organize your media efforts. Then we'll move into the marketing map with PESO. We'll break down how PESO creates a clear roadmap for reaching your audience. Next, we'll talk about how PESO supports the customer journey. We'll look at how you match the right media at each stage. Finally, we'll talk about PESO in action. We'll show real-life examples of how dealers have used this approach for marketing wins. And as Jordan mentioned, at the end, we have a media mapping guide that we want to share with you to make sure that you can apply the PESO framework to your own media strategy. Before we jump into solutions, let's take a minute to talk about why marketing strategies fall short. Usually it starts off with disconnected channels. Too often teams are running separate efforts. A little bit of social here, paid ads there, email somewhere, and now none of this is connected. The results? Customers get a fragmented experience and sometimes get frustrated. Wasted ad spend. When the campaigns aren't aligned, money gets thrown at tactics that don't move the needle. You end up paying for impressions or clicks that lead nowhere. Inconsistent messaging. Your voice and message change across platforms. Your audience is feeling very confused. People don't know what you stand for or what you're offering, and no clear path to conversion. Without a mapped out journey, customers don't know what to do next. They might be interested, but there is no easy path guiding them to act. These are the gaps we're trying to fix, and the PESO framework gives us an idea to connect all the dots, align efforts, and build a clear and consistent message.
So what is PESO? PESO, as Kat mentioned, stands for Paid, Earned, Shared, and Owned Media. And if we just were to break it down a little bit on this chart here, so paid is the media that you buy to share your message. It's this paid search that we run, paid social, Google responsive display, all the advertisements. And paid media's main purpose is to increase visibility and kind of amplify everything else that you're doing. Then earned media, its main purpose is to improve trust, and it's what others say about you. It's Google reviews and ratings, customer testimonials, word of mouth, whether offline or shared online. Any media coverage, like this is the best dealership in the county, or awards and recognition. And then shared media kind of has a crossover sometimes with earned media and paid, but this is primarily when people and or you share your content on social media. So it's organic Facebook posts, event promotions, shared customer photos, when your community tags you in their posts, and then any giveaways, reposts, or local engagement. And shared media's main purpose is to increase engagement. And then finally, we have owned media. So this is the content that you create and control. It's your website and landing pages, your walk around videos that you might have on YouTube or your website, your inventory listings, your blogs or your news pages, email campaigns, and forms. All four of these pillars need to support each other. Paid is often the first touch point, and it's what we primarily specialize in as your media planners, but we know that integration matters because it amplifies your message, builds trust and consistency, and makes better use of your budget and content by repurposing and reinforcing it across all four of these pillars. And so if we were going to look at this in action, PESO in action, this might be what it looks like for you. So paid, as we mentioned, is the ads that you paid for. So you might have a Facebook ad promoting a compact tractor special, and then a Google search ad for tractors near you that somebody with high intent might be searching. And then a YouTube ad bringing more of that awareness piece in there, showing customer testimonials or that piece of equipment in action. And the goals for paid vary. They can drive traffic, increase awareness, increase leads or calls, store visits. So there's many, many goals that paid media accomplishes. Then earned would be something like a local news story about your dealership's 50th anniversary, or a farming influencer posting about your equipment, positive customer reviews on Google. And the main goals here for earned media is to build that trust and authority piece. So when paid media grabs the attention of somebody, earned would be just helping to reinforce that trust and authority. And then shared, so customers sharing photos of their new tractor purchase, giveaways or contests on Facebook, event recaps or promo reels that people might repost. And this is all helping to reach new audiences through your community. And again, reinforce that, you've got the authority in your community. People like you, people like doing business with you and want to share about you. And then owned it's like your digital storefront. It's your website, your inventory pages, your blog. You have complete control over this. So it would be somebody going to an inventory page on your website, receiving an email newsletter from you announcing promotions, blog posts on seasonal equipment tips that you might share. And the main goal here for owned media is to educate and nurture those long-term buyers. So it's the real piece that you can truly, truly control long-term. So I love a good analogy, and if we think about PESO and how we can kind of apply it and how all of the different pieces work together, we came up with this analogy of a map and a road trip. So paid oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes is what gets us started. It's like paid media is like the engine. But to actually arrive at the goal, there's a lot of other aspects that go into that customer journey. And that's where shared, earned, and owned media come in. So paid gets things moving. Without paid, the journey doesn't often start, especially for new audiences or campaign pushes. Kind of helps to bring in those impressions. And then shared, earned, and owned, if we imagined a road trip, they would be the road and bridges and signs. They carry the customer through that journey. These channels provide trust, information, and reinforcement to that paid message. And without them, the engine, the car, stalls or sometimes turns off course. And then the conversion and goal is like the destination. This is where the customer completes your intended action for your campaign, whether it's a form fill, a call, a visit, or a purchase. It's the goal that you set at the beginning of your campaign strategy and journey.
Now we're going to dive a little deeper into each region of the PESO model. So let's start with paid media. This is the engine that powers your marketing journey. Paid media is the start of the journey. It's ads on platforms like Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn that put your brand in front of the right people at the right time. You can control the throttle. You decide how fast or how slow you want to go. You can set the pace through budget and targeting. Performance is measurable. Like a car's dashboard showing the speed and fuel, you can track clicks, impressions, conversions in real time. This just lets you adjust strategy on the fly. Basically, what we're saying is no engine, no momentum. Relying only on organic tactics is risky in today's crowded space. Paid media gives you the push to break through the noise. So paid media gives you the fuel and the control to get moving. And without it, your marketing just isn't going to go anywhere. Now let's move on to earned media. This is the trusted passenger sitting beside you, your customer, helping them feel confident about your journey. Earned media is the experienced passenger. So again, your customer feels like someone trustworthy saying, this is a good decision. Earned media can come in a variety of different forms. It can be reviews, testimonials, word of mouth, local media coverage. It builds that credibility without you paying directly. It can be hard to control, but it is powerful. You can't force trust. You earn it with consistency and results. Reputation grows over time, not overnight. I'm going to close the gap at the decision point. Acts like a travel buddy, confirming you're on the right route. This helps customers confidently say yes. Your social proof drives conversions. Positive reviews and recommendations are often the tipping point of yes. So earned media is what helps your customers feel confident, stepping forward, and it's the voice that turns hesitation into action.
And then we have shared media. So with this analogy, it's like the roadside signage and scenery. It's all the social chatter and interactions that help people feel sure that they're heading in the right direction. For example, when somebody sees a Facebook post that somebody else may have shared about your brand and it's getting lots of likes and shares or comments, it's like a friendly sign saying, yep, this is legit. Or when people comment with questions or compliments, it's like hearing others cheer you on, which builds trust and momentum. While your paid ads might get people interested first, social media keeps the conversation going and keeps things relevant with seasonal changes or changes that you might have in your promotions. It pops up in their feeds and reminds them why your brand matters. And then finally, owned media is like the road. It's the controlled, consistent path that leads your customers towards your goal. Landing pages, websites, and blogs are all part of your owned media, and that we can consider them your roads, maps, and rest stops. They must be fast, relevant, and well-maintained. They help guide the user experience. Once a user clicks on an ad, where they land determines whether they continue or turn around. You have full control over your owned media, so you set the speed limit and direction of your customer's journey. But a slow loading site or confusing call to action or landing page can oftentimes be like a pothole or dead end.
Let's look at how PESO connects the customer journey, because it's not all about tactics, it's about guiding people step by step. So at the top, you have awareness. This is where customers are thinking, I don't even know you exist. Paid media like ads or earned media like a press coverage can help you get on their radar. Next, you move down to consideration. They're now saying, I'm interested, but I'm comparing options. Here are things like shared media, customer post reviews, own media with helpful website content, help build a case for you. And then you move into conversion. This is where they're thinking, I'm ready to act. You need to have clear calls to action, paid offers, own landing pages, make it easy to buy or sign up. And after the conversion is when you move into the loyalty and advocacy, so the post-purchase piece. Finally, they've moved into loyalty. I'd refer you or I'd buy again. This is where earned and shared media shine. We want happy customers to leave reviews, share stories, and become advocates for the brand. By aligning PESO efforts to each stage of the funnel, not only are you pushing messages, you are guiding customers on a journey, building relationships that last beyond a single sale.
Kat, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I had my husband going in and out of the garage door there. Just in front of the noise. Now that we've looked at the PESO lineup with the customer journey, let's look at what it actually looks like when the campaign moves from disconnected to aligned. So before PESO, a disconnected campaign, paid, you're running a financial ad. It's floating along, not connected to any other channels. On the own side, your homepage is generic, no clear offer pages tied to the ad. On the shared side, social media is quiet with no recent posts or engagement. On the earned side, reviews are unmonitored, no one following up. You're missing that value back feedback. After you align your marketing campaigns with PESO in mind, on the paid side, you're running that financial ad still, but now there's links to a dedicated offers page. On the own side, your website is set up to capture leads or drive action. Shared, social media is actively sharing the offer plus the engaging content. When it comes to the earned, reviews are now positive and monitored, and your team is engaging to build trust. When PESO elements work together, each piece amplifies the other. Instead of working in silos, your campaign becomes an integrated system, leading to better reach, stronger engagement, and ultimately better results.
So what does this look like in real life? Where's a real example? So this is a simple example from our rural lifestyle opt-in campaign, but it really shows the power of alignment. So on the paid side, we're running a strong responsive display campaign and then a retargeted responsive display campaign that re-engages users who visited the landing page but didn't submit a lead form. But the other aspects of PESO is really where this campaign shines and where it works. So the landing page, we've got a dedicated landing page, masseyRuralLifestyle.com, and I've got a screenshot here. You can see that the messaging on the landing page, achieve your property dreams with a Massey Ferguson tractor, matches that ad copy in the Google responsive display ads. So if somebody clicks on the ad, they get to the landing page, it's the same message. Okay, I'm on the right path. It's showing me exactly what I saw in the ad. And then the shared aspect, we've got a social media program that goes along with this as well. and it encourages engagement and reinforces that consistent messaging. So I've got an example screenshot here from B&G Equipment. And then this earned piece, we're working on getting a program that helps gather more reviews, but this review was from just, I think, a week ago, and somebody shared a picture of their new tractor, reviewed B&G Equipment, said they were super helpful and thanked them for all of their expertise. And then B&G Equipment responded there. So that it just helps build that trust for future buyers. If a future buyer sees B&G's location, then maybe goes to their Google listing and sees that review, it's just going to reinforce that trust and alignment with the campaign. So this is a perfect example of all the aspects of the PESO model working together for this one campaign goal of increasing leads. And it has worked very well. We've had over 1,800 leads generated so far from this campaign that just started in March. So with that, this is kind of the closing of our presentation. So if there's one thing that we want you to take away from today, it's that paid media is powerful, but it can't carry the load alone. PESO gives you a strategy, not just tactics, and helps every channel work harder and smarter. We wanted you to walk away from this webinar with a guide. So we created a handout that you can download that allows you to kind of take a look at everything, audit what you're doing now and how it might align with the paid media that you're running and how you can amplify what you're already doing to drive more results. It's kind of like a PESO playbook. And whether it's one campaign or your whole strategy, we hope this checklist will help ensure everything is more aligned for your customers and their journey through the marketing funnel and along all the touch points of the PESO model. If you have any questions or need further guidance in any area, please reach out to us or your AGCO Direct account team. Thank you for attending this webinar.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you both. That was great. As they mentioned, that handout is going to be in the handout section here in the platform that you can download and look through that, see if you have questions, and really use that as a guide through the rest of the year. And try and reference things Camille and Kat mentioned. Of course, we'll send out this PowerPoint too for you to reference after the webinar. But we do have some time for some questions. So again, if you have any questions, big or small, feel free to drop them in the chat. And we will do our best to answer them. Looks like we have a couple here so far, but feel free to throw them in over the next few minutes. So Camille and Kat, our first question here is how can we get more Google reviews?
Do you want to field that one, Kat, or you want me to take it?
We can both probably add some comments to it. So
Sure. Yes. So one thing that some of our dealers have done in the past is create point of sale signage with a little QR code at like the parts counter that people can scan that takes them directly to the Google review section. So that makes it very, very easy to leave a review. That's definitely one way that you can get more reviews.
What I always just try to recommend too is kind of going back to that customer journey, like the funnel piece that we were talking about. If you're working with customers along the way, maybe gathering information across different touch points. So thinking of them at different places. And then also when it comes to that loyalty piece and you have those advocates, really going back to those ones to be like, why did you want to buy with us? What made it so special? And then having maybe creating different pieces of content with that. Are they going to do a written form where it just is end up on Google? Or could you get something more from that where they create a video or something along there where, again, it goes full circle and maybe you can post it on your website and then you can have a place there where you're having it within your own space of a shared media experience.
Yes.
Or earned media experience and shared. Yeah. All of it.
Yes, all of it. Yeah, you could put that testimonial on your website as well. And then you've got it everywhere, and repurposing that content for sure, Kat. That's such a good point.
Definitely.
We also I know that there is something coming in Q3 to help gather more reviews. So Jordan, yeah, more to come on that. I know.
Yeah. Happy to tease our new platform that we're really excited to be working with. It essentially will allow our team to help your team and dealership manage reviews at a larger scale. But we will have more information on that come Q3. So stay tuned for that, and we'll keep you posted there. All great answers, Camille and Kat. I really liked your piece about sharing those positive customer reviews, because you might as well leverage them, and they're a really good testament to your dealership and your service. So do you have another question here? Do you help with updating websites or landing pages so they match campaigns?
Yes. The answer is yes. We can, but I would, and if that is something that you desire, I would talk to your account manager more about that, so they can get you started.
Yes. And if you aren't sure who your ACO Direct account manager is, you can always email ads@acodirect.com, or feel free to email me directly too, and I can get you connected to the right person. But if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in here. Otherwise, we can wrap things up. As always, and I always do this after a presentation like this, I'll be thinking about it later and have questions or comments and things like that. So don't hesitate to reach out to us after the fact through your ACO Direct account manager to get more information and ask those questions. Or if anything that Kat or Camille talked about is of interest of you, interest for you, we can certainly get you connected to the right people so we can really apply the PESO model to your current marketing strategy. But thank you all for joining us today. We're really excited and really pumped to be already into June, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, so thank you all for joining, and reach out with any questions. And don't forget to download that PESO model handout as well.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.